you're around a bunch of people, yeah.
And we're back. With more questions than answers, more
As always.
puzzle pieces with no puzzle box. I don't know if you want a puzzle box necessarily. So
that's how you get Cenobites.
How you get what?
Who's going to touch a crystal? Who's going to do what? What's going on?
Not old enough.
We said there were 3. Did we want to do all 3 crystals?
I mean,
or just 2?
No. Probably start with 2.
Yes.
Start with 2.
There's a progression, we'll call it.
Okay.
Right?
So start with
there's
2.
Definitely no need to start with more than the minimal set of examples.
Put them all together in a box.
Yeah.
Shake
how are we doing this? Are we just having 2 of us hold them?
I feel like
or
see that's
put them in a box.
Hazmat
suits.
A lot of the effects have been mental. So if we just had them, in some sort of apparatus that would cause them to touch, we might not actually get any information out of that.
They could be doing things you don't see.
Right. On the other hand, if they do something new when 2 of them touch that they haven't been doing when people touch them, then it might be better that no one is touching them if that thing that they do is bad.
I mean, we could try that first, and if nothing happens...
Well, there is a third possibility that they touch and then they go away.
Oh, yeah, I guess then, yeah.
Which is a downside as far as having more crystals for testing. At least, if someone's holding them, then somebody has gone where they went, and there's a chance that we could get them back, but that's not great. So there's
I volunteer.
There's a lot of wrinkles, and I genuinely don't know which way is.
I love that you volunteered, but when you touch the crystal, it didn't do anything.
That's actually a plus as far as the holding it goes, though. Right?
Okay, well, so if yeah,
so I'm not. I'm a
benign. If we want to see if it does anything mentally wise, we would need 2 other
maybe
people.
right, but that's the thing is that if the crystals, when somebody touches them who has some sort of connection to another dimension, is doing this mental effect, right? If people who don't have any connection whatsoever to another dimension touch one and then nothing happens, and that those are the ideal people to try the poking them together thing, because then maybe they will be able to receive whatever it is that would be gained from the crystals tracing themselves.
Download available.
It's like rubber boots.
Well, okay, then we have a few different ways that we could try this. Which way do we want to do first?
Well, who else has already touched one and nothing has happened?
Nobody that's here.
Yeah, well, Lily hasn't touched one, right? But we're pretty sure that if Lily did, it would do a thing. Is everyone on the same page?
Slightly concerned about it.
There seems to be a magical kind of magiciness surrounding even mentioning her name, so
yeah.
It might.
We're erring on the side of caution.
I would be concerned that even if, say, Lily were not to have some sort of vision or be consciously transported somewhere, that we'd be setting off a real big beacon that we do not can't afford to set off.
Right, just like the Fey Amber Alert or something.
Because if technology is being,
we may not be able to unring that bell.
Yeah, because technology was acting weird the moment Lily's name got brought up over the phone. I worry about what would happen with magical item from another dimension.
As everyone is talking, Lily's just gonna sneak up and be like,
interpose.
Mike, are you gonna allow this? Are you gonna allow the 10-year-old child to touch the crystal?
I mean, she legitimately said sneak, so this is vigilance versus whatever.
Numbers. Yeah.
I will roll. I have pretty good vigilance.
Lily, give me an agility check.
15.
I'm more concerned now that went so well.
16.
Darn it. Lily just says heck.
Because of big stuff.
Language.
Sits and pouts in the corner.
Well, you notice Lily moving up to.
I blink in front of her.
Mike's not
I'm
gonna
starting to
let
think
that
you were
happen.
right about the 2 lab thing.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Hey, kiddo. Here, have another activity book.
Here's an iPad.
No. Keep,
Here's
no.
our-
Everybody. Everybody. Stop talking, Mike. Keep going.
No.
Doing what?
Nope.
Is there
No,
something
because he was
happening other
about to
than
say
what we're
something that
doing?
vaguely was sounding like, but Lily gets to the crystal anyways, and I'm very worried.
What you don't know is that Lily has phase and blink. You can't stop her.
Lily does not have either of those.
No, you interpose.
So
You step in front.
Okay, great.
okay, so here's the thing. This is a okay. So I need somebody to check me because I may be rationalizing in order to get more data because I really, really, really want data. But in my head, it goes this way. Lily wants to touch a crystal. Unless we watch Lily 24/7, Lily will find a crystal to touch. And it is better that she do it while we're here watching than by herself.
I hate that you're right.
Am I though? Or is that rationalization? Because I feel like it might be rationalization, and that's why I'm asking.
Well, I
Are
mean,
we talking about crystals or alcohol? I'm confused.
Works both ways.
All right, so
Well, I mean, I feel like maybe if we do your idea of like the 2 labs thing, then this lab could be locked with the crystals in it, so that Lily can never get in this room.
Okay,
we've
but-
established there are lots of crystals. It's not just these.
But I also did get
I hate to
accidentally hit with the
say-
drug, not of my own volition, so there is also that concern. So I know I feel like you're kind of on the right train of thought. I just hate it.
You also
Yes.
haven't touched one yet either.
You're not
yeah,
wrong.
like yeah.
Thought I'd
So-
be honest.
I'm
Control groups.
trying to
Well, then
remain
is there-
objective.
Is there a different? Also, question from my say, is there a difference between touching the actual crystal and just having been hit with the drug? Because if we're going to go by that technicality,
It is possible.
I want to
then
bite
I
it.
also technically haven't touched a crystal. I've just been hit with the drug.
all right.
You've got a snoop.
I am
Stop.
going to well, I agree with you, Beholder. I hate to say, but my stipulation is that I'm gonna hold on to her while this is happening.
Also, question out of character. Sorry, Mike. I didn't hear what you said in response to my thing. You were cutting out a little bit. Are you now
What was the
not going to
question
tell
again?
me? If like, because I can be in character and out of character, is the getting hit with the drug the same thing as touching a crystal directly? Because you had started to respond, but you cut out for me, so I did not hear what you said in response to that.
Yes, you have not actually touched an actual crystal. You just got a face full of crystal dust.
Great. So the effects could be different, and I hate that was left so open-ended. Cool. But it vaguely
That's,
answers my question. So
It's
yeah, technically,
perfume versus
The only way you're going to
essential
know if
oils
the effects are the same or different is if you touch both.
yeah. So
at the
yeah,
same time.
yeah.
I
At the same
pick-
time.
At the same time.
That might be
Right.
how Solstice went. Pff, honestly,
I pick up
Well,
the
and
crystal.
there's still the like whole thing of it physically changed a part of Alexi's, like, not body but like outfit technically,
Yes,
and that was
that-
just
well,
from getting hit with the drug.
That was just the dust. Although it seems clear that based on at least some of the things that we've seen, that at least energy effects can be transmitted through whatever connection these things forge, right? Because she gestures at the floor, and then also your shoes. Like it seems like, it's a two-way connection. And what can be
It's
passed
just
along
interesting because
we don't know the limits.
yeah,
Hey, Lily.
Yeah, because I'm the only one who has had something physically, as far as
Here.
we know, who's had something physically changed about them when coming into contact with even just at least the drug. So,
So, Lily, you just poked the crystal, didn't you?
Boop.
oh, all right.
Well, then
But Liberty Lass is holding on to the crystal,
holy
and
crystal,
Lily.
and Lily just kind of went boop.
Liberty, I am reiterating that I am maintaining contact with both the crystal and Lily.
Cool. Cool.
Oh no.
Cool. Lily, your vision goes dark for a minute,
Oh,
and you're at home.
Huh.
You're at home.
Hmm.
See the you know, kind of ageless, sort of random through the ages sort of kitsch that gets collected at an average, say, grandmother's house. So you've got, little glass figurines here and a little bookcase full of old books there, odd furniture, gingham couch, that sort of thing. The plastic covering over the the whole concept of grandma's house. And but then all of it to an average kid would look just a little bit strange, because here there's a painting of an odd squatching symbol on the wall. It makes nothing. It's almost abstract. But you know it as an arcane symbol. You see a list, sort of just a picture, a panorama of animals frolicking in a field. You know you're not looking at a picture. Looking through essentially that window. And it's almost like shadow falls across you as you're standing in the room. What are you feeling right
What am I pardon?
now? But now you're standing in your mother's living room.
Lily's conflicted because she knows her mom is a bad person because Angel told her, but she's never really been like, I don't think that Celeste was like necessarily evil towards her children. Maybe a little bit like not uncaring a little bit, but not like villainous towards them. Like intentionally like vicious towards them. So like she's
That's what I'm
kind of
saying.
like it's
Wait a minute.
home, but it's not like I should not be here.
And you almost that should not be here. It sort of echoes in your mind as a thing. It's almost like a reinforcing loop that's sort of like starting that build of the anxiety sort of thing, because you want to be home, you want to be back the way things
Normal.
were. Everything was great, everything was fine, you and your sisters had fun, you played together. None of their existence. That's the weirdest thing you find about this room. Anything that was here that had anything to do with you and your sisters is gone. And a shadow falls over you. Well, Lily, what? Where have you been, darling girl?
Lily is gonna look up and shake her head. Nope.
And the woman, dressed in black, flowing black, sort of that satin, sort of not quite a nightgown, but has like the overcover, everything else sort of thing. It's the overlayered. evening attire, retiring
Mhm.
for bed, but not quite bed attire. And she stares at you. You're Lily, what is wrong? You're not here.
You're right. I'm not.
Where are you, my treasure? I can come find you.
You can't find me.
Nonsense, silly girl. I will always find
You don't want to find me.
you. Oh,
Bad things will happen.
I miss you terribly. Tell me where you are. And you feel the slightest. Well, that's when tinnitus starts. The little
Mhm.
buzz at the back of your ear, back of your head. It's sort of almost like a little pressure. I'm
Lily
worried.
is going to
Lily,
close
please.
her eyes and go like this and say, I'm going back. Going home. I'm going back. I'm going home. I don't like you. Go away.
You open your eyes. Still there, but she looks very, very close. Sort of very upset Julia Andrews. Very just not having it. That is inappropriate behavior for a young lady. And she reaches out to grab your hand in order to, I don't know, possibly spank you or something. But the hand passes straight through your arm, and you feel sort of almost like a spark and a tingle
Mhm.
launches up your arm. You feel it around your entire body. Everything goes super bright, and you're back. Sort of touching the crystal.
Lily is going to look over to Alexi and Penelope and nod and say, it sends you back home.
Dr.
Okay.
Penelope, give me a bit.
Who? Huh?
Me.
Oh, okay. I audio cut out a smidge. Sorry.
I'm imagining if anybody is, you're going to be the one looking for this. And of course, Beauty would also all over this.
Okay, that'll
Okay.
do. Well, I mean, I might as well. I still have one more edge.
Why?
Same thing.
Why not?
Yeah, so it's a fantastic 20.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay.
nothing passes by Penelope.
This kid masks really well, but you're kind of like, well, pulse rate is like almost double than it was when she before she touched it. This is happening. There's micro beads of sweat. There, this, that. She is in a high state of anxiety. Like there's a massive fight or flight fear response. She's masking it very, very, very
um. ugh. So Penny is going to sort of there's a look that she has on her face almost all the time, which is you can only you would only now label it as her science look, because at this moment she does not have that look. She has some other expression on her face, which is weird and foreign to Penny, at least around you guys. But she like comes over to Lily and it's like, would it be okay if I gave you a hug?
I would like a hug, yes.
Okay. And then she'll do that. Just gently hug her. Like not holding too tight. Um But we're gonna make sure
Aw.
you stay safe.
I know. I didn't tell her anything.
That's good.
I just told her that I was going home and that I didn't like her.
No, yeah, the didn't like her part is fair.
Yeah. We've all got stuff, and it sucks when we get that stuff young. And I'm sorry that it has to be hard for you. But even aside from that, and certainly, like, in spite of that, you seem like a great kid.
Lily is
So-
very happy about that. Of everybody, off the table, of everybody, Lily is probably the scaredest of Penelope, but like the most like respects her, kind of scared, like the kind of intimidating, like that person's really cool, I want to be like them. So to hear that from her makes her really happy. She'll probably cry a little bit.
BRB gonna go actually cry now. Aw.
Penny has backstory too. It just hasn't come up yet.
I'm sure she does.
So, yeah. Okay.
Well, we figured it out though, and that's
Yes.
good.
Okay. That does confirm though that the crystals definitely affect anyone who is like not
Not
even
from
like
here.
not even like interdimensional, but like not fully human.
Are
Or
you
just has some
sure?
connection, even.
Are you sure home is here? And not like a place that looks like here?
I escaped it and got here, so I left the door, like I left out the door and was here. Like I didn't travel anywhere.
Hmm.
You literally ran out the door.
What if just
So-
the house is somewhere else? Is that possible? Is that like a
mean,
thing? Okay.
My mom
Well,
is very powerful, so
I don't
maybe.
think there's anything we can really say is not possible at this point, which is
But
really, really frustrating. But
my point of vein in that was that yes, Liberty Lass can do everything that you can do, Samantha, you're great, but you do seem to be mostly human who just hit an unfortunate circumstance, but still human, so it didn't affect you. Everybody who's touched it who is most definitely not human in some way or another has been affected by
well,
it.
I mean,
was kind of the
Cal,
vein I was running.
Kind of
Cal
resent
is
that
human,
remark a
right?
little
And
bit.
Cal just has a
But Cal has a non-human entity literally like
passenger,
attached
right?
to like his like like a passenger, like a I
Yeah.
think that's the only reason why it's affected Cal, because
I'm
again,
not
so-
when
touching
they went
any of these
there,
crystals ever.
they were two completely separate entities when they got hit with the vision. So I think in that instance, it's because
Where did
Gary's like
I look for the
latched
ride.
onto a human.
if having a sidekick is where does your stuff come from?
That's a good question that I don't actually know the answer to in a broad sense. And I think, honestly, I don't, and it hurts me to say this, but I don't want to know the answer, because
That's fair.
for much the same reason that that Lily should probably not touch any of these crystals anymore ever. That maybe
They might
nothing would
want-
happen.
they might
Maybe
want it back.
it would be sure something.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna not risk that for the moment.
Oh, that makes sense.
But that means
Oh,
that
yeah.
we only have one person among us who is confirmed to be able to touch them without anything happening. And I don't think that it seems likely that less is going to happen if Alexei touches a whole crystal than just the drugs, right?
Probably not. Again, poof.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We don't
I
want to
mean,
risk losing
it-
Alexei.
So we could just
and-
put a crystal in a clamp, and then Liberty Lass could touch another crystal to that one. So we only
Yeah.
need one person
are- yeah.
involved.
Liberty Lass has 2 hands.
I
She
don't
could
think we
just-
want to make a circuit.
Yeah,
Just
I
Oh.
really
Based
like
on
Liberty
general
Lass.
principle.
Actually, I don't want to risk an explosion in both of Liberty Lass's hands.
We should probably make sure that like they're all resonating on the same frequency before we think.
we don't really know what that means yet.
True.
So,
That's
like,
also a fair point.
is that a good thing, or would that make it more dangerous? We literally don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
That's fair.
like things resonating is like, it can be a good thing, and it can also be a destructive thing depending on the context. The whole what
Mm.
army people marching out of step on a bridge, because if they march in step, then you can actually cause damage.
Learn something new every day.
I mean, these are really
I'm-
old
I'm-
bridges. I doubt modern bridges would be inconvenienced by marching, but
I mean, I agree with clamping one, Liberty Lass holding the other. At least trying that
because
first.
it's a minimal test, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
like we can
Just to
always
see if
we
it
can
does
always go
anything.
up, right? But we
Yeah.
want to try the smallest thing possible.
Yes. Yeah. Samantha, is this something you're down for? Oh, Lexi turns over to Samantha. 'Cause, like,
Sure,
yeah.
but I still
You
do
sure you want
need
to volunteer
to.
yourself?
Need to what?
I am worried about all those chrysalis people out in the city. So
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not.
just
I know where they are.
Which we will absolutely get to. I feel like it's not quite as imperative if we know that they probably already have the barrel. Still going to get to it, absolutely. I definitely still want to go do that just in case, because I do think your plan of interrogating at least one of those guards is a very smart idea. Absolutely.
That sounds kind of
But I don't think they're going to go anywhere.
we said that a couple nights ago.
So what if we touch the crystals? If we don't all go boom, then let's go beat up some crystals people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we can resume tests after that.
While everyone is
Because
testing, Lily is going to try
that's-
and make herself a weapon.
Cool.
But that's longer than I
Okay,
don't have to
I'm-
try and touch
I'm-
the crystal.
I've
You should probably phrase that. Make a weapon for herself.
Make herself a weapon. Yes, she's not.
She said what she
I
said.
mean, it is coming out of herself, so I mean, it
I mean-
is technically making herself a weapon,
True.
just
deep.
not quite in the
Ooh, there's a power.
normal sense.
You could sort of.
okay. So I have one crystal in hand, and one crystal is
In a
Yeah, I will. Penelope will,
Clamp it
will eagerly direct
glove.
Samantha precisely how to clamp it in a thing, while Penelope does not touch it at all.
Good idea.
Cool.
smart.
Think gloves help in this situation?
Yes, please
Unknown.
put on
we
gloves.
should
No.
test that with people who something happens that isn't very alarming. So not Alexi, not Lily. It seems
Pretty much
complicated.
nobody
Seems
here.
complicated for Brigitte. Like Brigitte, is it Brigitte or Brigitte?
Brigitte.
Brigitte. Okay. Yeah. Seemed like it was awkward for you.
Yeah.
Not-
I don't
not
want to get
something
you in
you
trouble with
want.
your boss again.
So what happens when I poke the thing with the thing?
So you've got one clamped. And how are you holding the other one?
Between my teeth like a rose. No.
Don't think that's a good idea.
I was gonna
Mm.
say, like,
No, in my hand. I have it in
only
my
so many
hand.
ways you've tried
One
so
hand.
far.
So you
She's
start
possibly
moving
like a
to the other. They're jagged. They're sort of flat. And as you get closer, it starts vibrating and slipping out of your fingers. Do you try to keep a hold of it?
Yes.
It starts pulling harder. Do you use a second hand?
Yes.
Okay, so you're holding onto it with two, and it's almost like you're fighting against it being attracted.
So
to the other piece.
I flip it around the other way like a magnet.
Boom.
So dramatic.
And you're like, "Thump," and then touch.
Yeah. We're all gonna die.
Everybody's like,
I'm so- like, we're not, like, this is not physically happening, and I'm braced for impact.
a flash, purple, a clink, but a clink that sort of echoes through the room.
Link of destiny.
And before you is a single piece of crystal. No seam.
Is it twice as big?
This is as big as the two.
Okay, good. We didn't lose any.
Well,
The weird
what
part,
happens when I touch the bigger crystal? Anything?
Well, you're already holding it, basically, right?
yeah, nothing. It's still, and it's a singular pulse. Now there were two pulses before. Now there's only
Okay.
one pulse.
Do we have any
Well,
of the drugs in the house?
That's good to know. What?
Yeah.
Let's just
Yeah.
look
Yeah,
at
I
what we
want
got
some
so
of
far
that
before
real
we
quick. I
start
have
extra experiments, shall we? We got to analyze our data. Okay.
Lily has drawn the little everything
Well,
that
I
has
want to
happened
know
on a little piece of paper.
if we
The
take the
drug
ground
reacts?
up, if it'll react in the same way.
Yeah,
I
I
am
want to know
also
a lot
kind
of
of
things, but we're gonna
curious.
do those one thing at a time, right? That's
We
how we
also
do
have
science.
another shard, just in terms of inventory.
Yeah, but I probably want to not turn all of our shards into just one shard because that's
Yeah,
less
no,
convenient, actually. And also, we don't know if,
Oh yeah.
if double shards now will have different effects, when we have to be careful about that. But Mike, was I able to pick up anything when all of that shit was going on that was definitely physical?
Samantha is very strong.
Yes.
Very.
Strange readings. Electromagnetic spectrum, so the visual light spectrum, flash, an energy surge of sorts, but contained, essentially. It's almost as if they combined whatever was stored inside him, sort of thing, and is sort of like sliding two bubbles together to make one bubble.
Okay, that sort of tracks with Penny's theories about, like, if they are much higher dimensional objects, like there could be a surface tension involved that they just sort of hook together. That makes perfect sense to her. Okay. Interesting though that's so it's like, no, that makes sense. Dimensional. So it's half energy and it's half topological. Sure, makes perfect sense. Great, good science.
Okay. Speaking of science,
Is Penny is saying words?
Yes, Penny is saying all this out loud.
Words?
Emily kind
that
of like
I'm not sure I know.
What?
speaking of science, I think we can put my theory to rest.
Which
Mom
one?
didn't seem that it came from my mom because
Oh.
like she seemed confused that I was not really there. So if she had made them, then she would understand that they weren't really there.
That's a
Yeah,
fair point.
That
that's fair.
makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good point. That theory quashed. Love it. Good.
At least we managed something.
So, okay, so here's a second theory. So, the drugs. So when they're taking these crystals and they're grinding them up, like into what seem like tiny pieces in our dimension, little grains of sand, powder, whatever. And then I don't know if they're doing anything else or they're literally that's all they're doing. That was not clear to me lab wise. But so if this is actually working the way that I think it is, then so it's possible that that process of grinding them up, three-dimensionally is damaging them, is damaging their structure in a way that's not visible to us, but has these effects, right? When people take it into their systems or even get it on their systems, right? Because of the skin contact thing, that it's basically making like
Visions?
fractional dimensions, right? That could definitely cause wrong things to happen, like the guy who just, you know, turned into a rock and then died, for example.
Angry rock.
What happened to like his corpse?
Did we run away? I forget what happened at the end of that episode.
I do too.
I think we just left.
I just clipped this episode recently.
Were we,
'cause I
were
was
we
like, that was
chasing the one guy who was the like lookout, and that's why we left that scene? Because like Penny had gone up on the bridge, and there was the guy who was like looking over. I have no memory of.
No, I
what
have not clipped this
happened at the
episode
end.
yet.
Oh,
Never mind.
so long
I mean,
ago.
Penny has an eidetic memory, Mike. So if you remember, you should tell me now.
Does Mike have an idea?
I wrote that trade down and everything.
If I remember correctly, you started pursuit, but left him because things happened down below.
Okay.
And I think we left because cops were coming, and I want to say that guy's body completely crystallized, or
Poof! Disintegrated into the wind.
Oh, did it disintegrate?
yeah,
Okay, I wasn't sure.
just like the gnome.
Rip.
Yeah. So.
Difference is one of those deaths was avoidable, Cal.
Well, that's the thing is that
I know. If only he hadn't taken the drugs.
technically by this theory, he may not actually be dead. Like all of his molecules in our dimension may just be separated physically, right? He's still connected through other dimensions because it's very broken, and it's probably, I mean, it would be.
That sounds
He
very
might
painful.
consider it be better that he was dead, but he might actually not be. Something to think about. Don't get any of the drugs in you. I'm gonna say that. That we knew that before, but now here's a good reason not to. But also, it seems like that's a good theory, though, to test Samantha's wanting to test, because if just taking a crystal and like sweeping up, you know, the powder with it just, you know, recrystallizes it basically, then that's good. That is making it less dangerous.
Do you think that's what it's doing inside when people snort it? Is it like
Ew.
We might be using them to recrystallize?
That's also possible.
I don't like
that? Also sounds
Like
very
as a
painful.
catalyst?
Are
Well-
we assuming then that the crystal was all at 1.1 form?
You think they had to break it apart to smuggle it over here? Like,
These are certainly theories. I'm not sure we can test them.
we
We
need
can't.
more.
It was just
we
a
need
train of
more
thought
shards.
based off
No,
of.
it's good to think about.
If we're saying that these things can restructure onto each other like that, it would kind of be, you know,
Yeah, I mean, because
viable to say that maybe they
two-
were all once one form.
two things being able to go together to form a bigger thing does not necessarily imply that they were once connected. There are things in nature that is true of, that, you know, that
Play-Doh.
doesn't follow. I mean, well, not exactly, but sure.
I mean, it's an
Thinking
example.
about Lincoln
but
Logs,
yes.
but yeah, it is.
That is a question. So yeah, I think the main question that we have to figure out is this helpful? Is this useful? Like putting them together and making them bigger, right? Because it could just be making them more dangerous. But there could be what, an emergent property at some point. If it gets big enough, then it will do something new that it has not done before, and maybe that thing is useful, or more useful than what is happening, which is mostly just disturbing and dangerous, right? Just various
Yeah.
flavors on that spectrum.
We need to find more shards.
Sure, for sure. But we have a gun.
Where do we
that
keep
can
the
do
drugs,
that now.
Cal?
Why was that question aimed at me?
Because you had a crystal in your pocket for who knows how long. You didn't mention it, by the way.
That's fair.
Did you think I was gonna forget that? Because I did not.
To be
And
fair,
also,
And
you
also
were
well,
you
and also
used
because
them.
you had to stop
Well-
everybody from actually using them as drugs. So I would think you would know where they are because of
that's
that.
true. But I'd like to point out that as a group, not a lot of questions get asked, and nobody asked for how to show it. I showed up, turned into a ghost, and started shooting people. And nobody asked
No,
questions.
that is very fair. That is the point that I was making to Lily about, unforthcoming as opposed to dishonest, right? That is legit. But also, let's oh god.
But no, the drugs.
Let's try to be team players, I say out loud with my mouth.
Does
I'm
Kowtow? So where are we keeping them?
They're like in the vault, somewhere over there.
But there's a canister
Yes.
that
The one we took from the
took from the
chop shop.
scene.
Yeah, they had some
evidence, the crime
They
evidence.
got those.
I take like a kitchen cup scoop, and I
Samantha,
dump
may I
it
ask-
on top of the crystal before anybody can stop me. Because I've been
Inaccurate.
sitting here.
That is inaccurate.
You know what? It's chaotic enough though that I
Scientific
kind of want it
A.
to happen.
A. Penelope will always get a vigilance check to notice you doing bullshit before it happens.
This is also true.
B. She specifically wanted to talk
Oh.
to you about how to do things science-wise. Not to do things, but how to do them. And part of that is
Safety.
explaining what you're going to do out loud first. It is part of the process. Even if someone does not have an objection on the basis of like danger or existential threat, which might happen, it's just good to like lay it out, because then you're preventing yourself from, making up theories to suit what you have happened rather than like actually testing the theory that you have, right?
I just want to see if the
Anyway,
stuff is.
I would like to have this conversation, and therefore, if I am noticing Samantha doing like putting a scoop into it, picking up a scoop, frankly,
Well,
at that
yeah.
stage seems pretty obvious what's going to happen.
I'll
Like
give you
at the
that one.
earliest point in this process, Penelope would like to
So-
intervene.
It's more the disappointing or this disconcerting thing, because Beauty has essentially a mind of its own and would be tracking Samantha while you're trying to talk to the rest of the people, and you're like, I'm going to saying this with my words, and then your eye just kind of goes complete lazy eye to the one side, and it's almost like you're glitching because Beauty's like trying to get your attention, but it's like, hey, over here, look at that thing.
Mhm.
You're trying to consciously.
Lily is going to tug on Samantha's pant leg and be like,
But-
please don't.
Yes.
Teaming up.
I'm tired. It's been a long day. Can we go to bed now?
At what stage in this process did I notice this happening? Because I don't.
Oh, the
do
scoop.
do not want to stop it. I just want to pause it. So Penelope would come over
Temporarily
and be like,
delay.
put a hand on Samantha's arm, put a hand on the canister, be like, hey, can I just talk for a second? We just want to, because the stuff before, like the touching, like handing out the crystal for Lily to touch it, like we were definitely heading in that direction. But there were other things to consider, like maybe we should do it not in the secret base, in case that whole thing about it being a beacon was correct, right? We had discussed that before. So this is why it would be better if we just said things out loud before we're going to do them, just to see if anybody has any thoughts about that. Does that seem okay?
Okay.
Great.
This counts as a lab credit.
So what I was saying before, remember about the doing the smallest thing possible? She points to the scoop. This is not the smallest thing possible in terms of putting powdered crystal on double crystal. Maybe just a tiny bit. Like, I don't know.
Well, if it reacts the way if the crystal did when I tried to bring it in, much of this is gonna get dispersed away from it.
Well, was it pushing it away or was it pulling it towards, Mike? It was a little unclear to
It's
me.
pushing away.
It was pulling towards.
Oh, it was pulling towards?
Yeah,
I
no,
thought
it
I was having to fight to get it
Oh, no.
there.
No.
you
You
were
were
fighting
fighting
to
to
get it
hold onto
away
it.
from
Holding
you.
onto it, and you're expecting.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have
be
fought
water
that.
drink.
I would have just been like,
Did that
that
happen?
would have
No,
been totally different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some magnet just, you know.
Yeah.
Would that? Yeah.
But yes, that's why we want to expose like the smallest amount possible to proximity to the crystal and see what happens, so that we can just do it in stages, right? Because if something different happens with the powdered stuff, because it's certainly possible, like that if it does bad things inside a person, it could do bad things inside a crystal. Like that the powdered stuff might not just be absorbed; it might screw it up.
Well,
Which
Where
would be
is
bad.
everybody? Samantha
and then
and Penelope are by the Scoopy thing,
Yes,
and
by the
Mhm.
canister thing.
Dualily
we
is
should test this on the other crystal then.
That is an
Where
excellent thought.
is-
Yes.
Where's everyone else?
Alexi would probably be standing, kind of close by.
5 floors away.
Lexi's left the building.
They're at the donut shop.
probably somewhere close by
Chicken wing.
Samantha. Probably near because in case of explosion, I would assume that Lexi probably would have been somewhere in between Samantha and maybe like Lily, like just in case. Like
Are you
buffer.
up with the crystal powder as well?
Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, if it's spreading around everywhere on accident, yeah. I'm sure Lexi would be in that line of fire somehow. Because why not?
Cool. So, how are you?
So we're retrieving the other shard and we're going to see if the powder attracts to it.
There's 2 in
Not
one,
the double shard.
and then there's the
But there's one last one.
yes, the one in Dreadfire's pocket.
Yeah. So that's the one we're going to use.
So, but at what point when you were getting close did you start feeling a physical effect? Like how close did you get before that happened?
2 feet?
Relatively close, about a foot. Yeah.
Okay.
About a foot.
So, let's just so while we're getting a small sample out of the canister, why don't we just move the canister, to the complete opposite side of the room from both Cal and the things, and then we can get I have a I guess is it actually a powder, or is it more like flour or like sugar?
Sugar.
Okay.
It's grains like sand.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a great science way of picking up sand. My
if it's
Dora
gonna-
doesn't. I'm sure there's a good
It's
way.
kind of
doing
why I
this
got
with
this
like that.
scoop.
Yes, but like just a small,
So,
very
a
because I want to say
spoon.
tweezers, but I don't think maybe I guess like if there's do labs have teaspoons? That seems wrong. There has to be a more sciencey way of scooping small
Teaspoons?
things.
It's a metric teaspoon. It's measured
Yeah.
in
Sure.
Canadian spoons or something.
It's
Okay, we'll just say that's something. We
it's
find
imported.
a very small scooping tool in order to get this minimal sample. But
Maybe
yes,
it's a toy from like one of Lily's toys, just like a toy spoon.
Like the little baby.
Well, if
you
it's
feed
like
the-
sugar, is it soluble? Like if you mix it with water?
I had that thought, but that is a second variable, and we do not want to do that. That can be step 2.
Actually, I think some of them ran into some in some water. I think that's how Solstice had his first vision. I think he said he didn't go poof that time though.
Okay. So
We're just gonna scoop out a tiny bit,
like a little
Right.
teaspoon.
yeah, quarter teaspoon even, yeah.
think it's grams or grains.
Yeah,
something
you know
like
what?
that.
Let's put it in a salt shaker.
When you make an ammunition, you weigh out the powder in
in order
grains,
to
'cause
put
it's
it in
very
a salt shaker,
precise.
you would have to take a bunch out, which is more than the amount we actually want to interact with here. Right? We just want a tiny bit. The salt shaker is a great plan for later. One thing at a time.
I was
Just
not
this thing.
serious. That was a comedy
Okay.
retraction.
Okay. I mean, I'm assuming you're saying things in game because like I don't have any other way to tell it apart right now. So, did you want to do
You
that?
want me to get
No.
close? What do we?
No,
'Cause
just put it in the clamp.
The other crystals in the
Remove
No,
the
we'll
other
take
crystal from the clamp.
We'll take one crystal, the double crystal, put it away.
Well, technically,
Put
nobody's touched that
Dreadfire's.
one yet.
Well, other than Samantha, yes.
Well, right,
And probably Samantha is the only person who should touch it.
right. That was my thought. Is because it might do a different thing now. We don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when Dreadfire's crystal is in the clamp, we're gonna put a tiny bit of the drug on top of it and see if it remerges with the crystal or if the crystal just gets high.
Where is the larger crystal?
We're putting it in the vault thing, I'm assuming.
Are we?
Where were they stored to begin with?
Yeah,
We
They
got
were
them
we're just
out,
putting
right?
it back.
Well, I
They
think
were what?
normally they had a vault where they had been storing them, but we kind of left in a hurry, so they were probably just like.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I
Oh,
will take it to the
Yes,
vault.
if they have sample cases or something, I would hope they would. If
mean,
they don't, then I will
There
put
was a
them
sample
on
case, and now it's too
on-
big. There's
on
too
the
small.
list. Well,
Yeah,
that's
it's
just the
opinion.
wrong sample case. Then it doesn't
Yes.
mean that you. I mean,
There were 2 sample cases, and now they won't just fit one
You
piece.
could put it in that tube with the drugs in it. That's pretty big.
well, that would be step.
Oh, for
That would be
Christ's
step like
sakes.
30, because that's where all the powder is, right? We're
That's
just
fair.
doing the opposite.
Liberty Lass is gonna take and she's going to say this out loud so nobody scolds her. I'm taking this crystal a safe distance away.
That's a good
Cool.
idea. I
And
like that.
she's
When you say
teleporting
when you
away
say-
with it.
When you said this, you're talking about the double one.
Yes.
Okay.
She's teleporting
I give you a
with
thumbs up.
the double
She-
crystal
Penny
to her
is
bedroom.
Penny is
She will put
slightly
it under her
concerned-
pillow.
Penny is slightly concerned that
Don't forget
teleporting
about that.
with one of these objects may in fact produce a novel effect. So she's watching intently, but she does not say no.
Science.
Science.
So I'm attempting to teleport with this
Okay.
to my room
Okay.
where she's just gonna like look around for a second
'Cause-
and go,
'cause you're-
that's perfectly safe. Sets it
'cause
on
you're-
her pillow.
Does your teleporting work more than 5 paces yet?
Yes. Teleporting, I can go teleport up to 100.
Okay.
Because it's out of combat.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
That's
in
okay.
combat it doesn't work very
I
far.
see. I see.
Okay.
So basically she's gonna go put it someplace where it's at a safe distance, but not particularly protected. You know?
Hold on your bed.
Yes. The precise way of phrasing that would be that it is at a greater distance. You
Greater
don't actually know
distance.
what a safe
Yeah.
distance is.
That's true.
Teleport back down.
That's a fair point.
Can you teleport back down?
And I teleport back down without the crystal.
Teleport back down.
Once I'm down there and the other
there were dots after what he said. I heard them.
yeah. I heard them. I was just
You heard the dot? Okay.
I heard
Teleport back down. And you're
there's the
like,
dots again.
done. What the rest of you see is Liberty Lass appears again, the crystal right next to her
Oh,
in midair. And it starts
Alexi goes
does it
to
stay
catch it
in
before it can
midair?
fall.
I was gonna ask.
Alexi goes to catch it before anyone can say anything. Alexi goes to catch it before it falls.
People are very perceptive.
Reflex.
about
Something
how
is
fast they
falling.
can-
If broken, could have disastrous consequences. Alexi doesn't think about it. They just go to catch it, like dive before it can hit the floor. Alexi's not thinking about the consequences.
What is the
Gotta
crystal
think of the
even
Alexi is thinking
doing?
about
I'm just
keeping
waiting
friends
for
safe.
a full description of the scene, part
Okay.
4.
Happens a lot.
Pray continue, Mike.
A familiar now wrench in your core of your being, and instantaneous dread, especially after everything that just happened at your parents, because you are now in the alabaster and onyx throne room of the Queen of Winter.
I'm inferring based on that the crystal was falling and Alexi has gone and caught it then, yes?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now I'm caught up.
Okay.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
I'm back. And Solstice
Oh.
is standing next to you.
Oh, great.
And the
good.
scene that you appear in is that he's holding her hand as if she's basically proffering it as royalty to kiss a ring. And he is holding her hand as if to kiss a ring. And
Great.
that is where we're going to end tonight. Let this go on far too long. Sciencing. Science. You're getting your
The
science
science
all
was
over my
important.
magic. And so, thank you for watching. Leave it at this bit of a cliffhanger. Give you the likes and shares. Thanks for those. Thanks for subscriptions if they're there. Let's do a quick roundtable.
Nope. Where's my camera?
Have our folks let you know who they are, where you can find them on the interwebs, starting with Theodora.
Hi, I'm Pandora Beatrix. In addition to actual plays, I do voice acting. Most recently, technically, chronologically, no, but we'll get there. I did some narration for a horror anthology called Howls from the Scene of the Crime by, which is something that Howl Society puts out once a year. And as I do when I do narration for them, I did a promo. It is currently available on YouTube under my account, which is just Pandora Beatrix, which is pretty much all my socials are that. If you could go look, that'd be cool because it's took a lot. I did a lot more work on that than I did on the actual narration on the book. I have problems, but anyway, also the book is good, and there's a Kickstarter link in there that you could go look at.
Brigitte, excuse me, Rem.
Yes, I'm Rem. I'm Rem of the Realm on most social media, and I do a TTRPG actual play show with some weird friends of mine called Rolls Revamped. So come and check that out, and see you next time.
Adam.
Hi, I'm Adam, better known as Soulvine most places on the internet. When you can't find me here playing Cal Winters or Dreadfire, you can catch me playing D&D on Twitch and YouTube at High Rock Games.
Hiya.
Hi everyone, I have been your currently now traumatized little girl Lily at Dualily. I'm Aya, and you can find me at Astral Bell on Twitch, which I hope to be streaming again soon. AI Bathory on Twitter, and I refuse to call it X, never gonna call it X. And Sleeping
Topia
Seamstress on Twitter, where I make cute little plushies like this Bebe plushie from Madoka Magica.
Ooh. Cute.
I just threw her into the garbage by accident.
Me?
Cassie.
Hi, everybody. I'm Cassie, better known throughout the interwebs as Random Attempt. I have been Samantha Holmes / Liberty Lass, and you can catch me on my Twitch stream where I also do a bunch of actual plays. I've done Braith, I've done this. I've done a few others, I think. If I haven't done them yet, they're in the works and they haven't hit YouTube or whatever yet, but definitely other projects coming for sure. And I have a Jackbox night coming up on my stream this Thursday night, the 28th. at 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Times, March 28th.
Which by the
So
time that this gets aired
by
might
the
have already
time
passed.
this actually comes through, I mean, you will have
We'll
missed
have
it.
had a great
So,
time.
Yeah, I forgot I was
So-
talking to people in the future. The Kickstarter is so over.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
it
people.
gets
You
it's
missed it.
so
You
out
missed
of
it.
we're
Yeah,
so out of order.
sorry.
So Cassidy, how was the deck?
Oh, it was so much fun.
We had such a great time.
We had Glitch was there, Sparrow was
Shenanigans.
there, Crim's Bacon, Solstice, who plays Solstice on Saturday night is there.
Steel Aegis.
Yeah, or Steel Aegis.
Okay.
Sorry. I got them confused. And then we had James
It was
Pace
such a good
from
time.
Flint and Steel.
So many shenanigans. As chaotic as
Mythic
you're thinking it
Kingdom,
probably
it was great. It was so much fun.
Yeah, exactly. To tell us more, Glitch.
Hello everyone, I'm Glitch, otherwise known around the internet as Glitch Productions. My Twitter is Glitch & Co, where I'm hopefully by this point posting some art stuff on there. We'll see if I actually hey, past me, remember to get that done. And right now this is my main project, but I have some other projects coming down the line, including getting more stickers into my Etsy store, which is Glitched Crafts. If y'all want to check out my stuff, I make custom dice and stickers, and that's all that I do. Besides look in the camera during this campaign and panic the entire time.
And look good.
I hope that my reactions amuse everybody else too. I amuse myself.
That's the whole point. And amuse yourself. Then and I was your helpless storyteller, narrator. Completely scienced out all of the magic. Gone now. Never. Yeah.
Logic your way out of all the plot.
Only slightly interrupted.
I think we'll be back to normal soon enough. Mostly. You can catch my pre and post COVID cosplay adventures at Canadian Captain America, at CDN Cap America, and CDN Captain America, depending on whether you're looking on TikTok or Instagram or Twitter. And yeah, this is also my only project right now. There's D&D in the plans, but we're gonna make sure this one gets well on its way to being finished because I've only got so much time in the week. So that said, thank you for watching. We appreciate any attention you're giving us. Keep your stick on the ice, and we will see you next week.
We love you.